Claude's leadership is deeply rooted in emotional optimism, emotional bravery, emotional efficiency. These are the three pillars in your book here. What did you learn about yourself in the process of writing this book, Claude?
Wow, Adam, it's a big home run question right there.
I'm going right for my closer right out of the gate. I'm switching things up today with you.
Oh my God, I love it.
Welcome to the podcast, where we introduce you to incredible humans who share their journeys with the mission to inspire you to harness your own inner tenacity to drive your life and career forward. And now, your host, Adam Posner.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast where I bring you the best and the brightest from the world of business, marketing, and personal growth to help you harness your inner tenacity and drive your career forward, folks. My guest today is Claude Silver, the world's first chief heart officer at VaynerX. And Claude has made it her mission to prove that when people feel seen, heard, and valued, both they and their companies thrive. Since stepping into her role, she's helped VaynerX grow from 400 to more than 2,000 employees worldwide and guided them through Breakthrough Agency of the Year and become a sought-after voice of heart-first leadership, empathy, and emotional bravery. I have so much to talk about. I have so much love for Claude, but today we are here to talk about her first book, Be Yourself at Work. It's out October 2025. So much to get into. Claude Silver, welcome back, friend.
Thank you, my friend. So good to see you, Adam. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being, I'm so excited for you. We were talking offline from like, why did it take so long? Why did it take so long? Why the book? Why now, Claude? Why now?
I'll tell you what, it took so long because of imposter syndrome and limiting beliefs. COVID was the gift. That's when I started writing it. And then, life takes over. You're like, do I have anything new to say? All that stuff. And at the end of the day, I thought, you know what? I don't know if it's anything new to say, but I am determined to change the workplaces for the better. And there's no better time than now when we got back from COVID. We got quiet quitting. We got the great resignation. We got this. We got everything. I mean, there's so much energy that is put onto employees. And it's something I put out on LinkedIn the other day. Like, we think we have to fix employees, but we have to fix our workplaces.
There's so much of it. I really do think the time is now, and I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of it's a really dark, sad time in America right now, and we're not going to go down that route. But it's going to the workplace because work is home, work is business, work is professional, work and home blend together in one, and you feel it. You feel the negativity in the world coming into the workplace. We had a conversation with a dear friend who got laid off after 15 years, and it was an ugly layoff because her boss got exited in an ugly way. And she worked for him, so she got exited too. And we're talking on the phone last night, Claude, and she goes, I'm done. I am done acting like this is part of a family. Families don't do that to each other. And I just want to show up for work, clock in and clock out. And I was like, well, does that mean you're not going to really care about the work that you're doing? She said, I don't give a shit. I just want to get paid and leave. So people have lost caring. We used to have a passion for work.
Yeah.
What happened to it?
We used to go to university or get really equipped and become somewhat of an expert in whatever you did so that you could share it and you could, grow, develop other people. I mean, we need people who give a shit at work because we have younger people that need to see that also.
Let's go down that rabbit hole, left-hand turn here. Younger people. And I was on my soapbox for a while with this whole return to work thing. And you and I grew up in the age of in account management land in the agency world. We learned from seeing firsthand from our mentors, from being in the workplace. I mean, there were gods and goddesses. Like, remember, like watching them present and pitch to clients and everything.
Yes.
That can't be done, remote or over Zooms or anything. Like, Are the youngsters out there, are they missing everything that we experience, or are we just now the boomers in the room and have to be like, this is the new way forward?
So that's such a powerful question. And I refused to see it in this is the new way forward. I refuse. And
I'm with you.
Yeah, I know you are. I mean, there is possibility. And I just, I'm with these people all day long, and all they want to do is, who should I meet? Who should I connect this? This is what I want to do. Oh my God, I want to be seen. I want to be valued. I want to make my mark. I want to be trusted. They still have an enormous desire in the workplace. Even the youngsters, Whereas, yeah, you and I are both Gen X, or you might be a millennial, and it's like it
No,
was a different time.
I'm a
It was a
zennial.
different time back then where,
It was.
quite frankly, I did punch in and punch out.
But can people be mentored remotely?
Well, listen,
Can leadership be taught remotely?
People are using ChatGPT for their therapy right now, so people can do anything. I think it all depends on what your appetite is and how real you want to get. Like ChatGPT, I love it. Gemini, fine, great. Do they know me? They know me in some kind of way. They don't know my heart. They don't know what my skin looks like. They don't know I have freckles. You know what I mean? So can people be mentored remotely? I think if you have the right leaders that know how to create a relationship and lean in and create intimacy through a screen and show that they really care, body language and all. Yeah, I think there's a way to do that.
I think it's testable propositions based on kind of where you are. But so let's dig into the book a little bit. And I typically save my home run question for the end, but I want to lead off with this one. What did you learn about yourself in the process of writing this book, Claude?
Wow, Adam, that is a big home run question right there.
I'm going right for my closer right out of the gate. I'm switching things up today with you.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, I learned that I'm judgmental about myself, that and at the same time that I know a lot about what goes on in the workplace. I learned that I am more of an empath than I ever could have thought. And I believe that things can change. I really had to listen to some of these limiting beliefs that I had and really be like, where is that coming from? Why do I think I have nothing to offer?
Hmm.
Yeah. I really also believe, like, I think the other thing I learned is, like, I don't think this is hard. I think what I talk about is very common sense. I think it's very simple. If you know me and you know me, I'm what you see is what you get. And what I really got firm on is everything I'm talking about starts with self-awareness.
That's my unlock, and we're not going to look too far in the rearview mirror. But I tell everyone this all the time: self-awareness is the greatest unlock you will ever have to development. It is once you could recognize your strengths and your weaknesses and be honest with yourself about them, and decide which ones to focus on. That's your superpower.
That's it.
Right? Like that's the superpower. And sometimes it takes a life or career changing moment for you. It humbles you and it allows you to open your eyes, and especially with leadership. Right? When we think about self-awareness with leadership, why is it so hard for so many folks who are the leaders to truly be self-aware? Is it vulnerability? Are they scared to be vulnerable? Are they scared to open up their heart? Are they scared to think it's not going to show strength? What is it?
Yeah. Well, what's really fascinating, just to go even further back with
Yeah,
leaders,
please.
is I truly believe they forget where they started. They forget what it was like being the new kid day one. They forget what it was like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months in, just being like, does anyone like me here? Am I doing good? They forget that. And what also happens in leadership is not only do you forget, at some point, you no longer have to pay attention to the intricacies of what's going on day to day on an
Right.
account, right? So if those people on that team are pitching tomorrow and they've been up 17 hours every single day working on this pitch, you're sleeping well. So I think there's a disconnect between, and this is, the universal leader, this is not everyone, a disconnect between, like, oh, it's my reflection. I used to be just like that. So that's the first thing. And I get paid at this salary and I just don't need to show you much, right? Like, I'm here as a leader, but, like, don't get too close. Don't get too close to me. I have a family, right? Like that kind of stuff. And that's just mailing it in. That's mailing it in.
Absolutely.
And I want so badly, and I'm not the only person, I really want people to understand what it is like to show up wherever you are. You're just coming out of college. It's your first job. It's your 8th job. You just got into the C-suite. Like, how you show up is everything, because people are looking at you.
Yes.
Are you strong enough to lead me? Do you know what you're talking about? Or do you know how to bring the right people in? Do you know how to manage a room? Do you walk into the room with the phone in your eyes? Or are you saying, hey guys, how's everyone's weekend? Like, there's so much that a leader needs to do. And I think that we continuously need to do that kind of training because it doesn't always happen. You all of a sudden become a manager and you're like, whoa, oh, okay, what do I
Now what?
do? I guess I'll do what my boss did with me. Then not all of a sudden you're in leadership position. You're having to make really big decisions, really big decisions. And sometimes you just go on emotion. And as a very emotional person, it's not good enough. It's not enough.
It's
You
not
need
enough.
critical thinking, you need data, and you need other people.
Consensus.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's interesting too. And you talk about this a lot, that, and you say that authenticity isn't unprofessional; it's your superpower. And I want to unpack that a bit because there's levels to it.
Yep.
And I've had to earlier in my career temper my authenticity, and maybe authenticity is not the right word, but you don't always have to be your exact. You don't always have to be your exact self that you're home in the workplace, right? And I'm
Yeah.
not just talking about professionalism. I
Yeah.
think there's certain things you keep there, but let's unpack that a little bit, because I think authenticity is more than a buzzword. I mean, it is a buzzword, but that's what connects you. That's what
Yeah.
connects you to other people and being your truthful self. And the more truthful you are, the better your performance is going to be, because you're not hiding it. You're not faking it. You're not trying to fake it till you make it and be something that you're not.
Yeah. You're making friends and relationships. I mean, there's so many people that meet their spouse at the workplace, right? It's amazing. Authenticity is an overused word. I would love to use real. I would love to use raw. I would love to use showing up. I would love to use be yourself. All of these words mean the same thing, which is literally just let your freak flag fly. If you like to listen to heavy metal every single day, like, let someone know that. You might find someone else that likes
Right.
to do that.
That's how you
You like
connect.
to sing out loud? Yeah, this is about connection. And in order to connect, a person needs to feel safe. And they need to feel like there's a place for them in this organization. Right. And then I feel, okay, the organization has my back. I got this. I'm going to go see if that person wants to go have a coffee with me. Now, at Vayner, we almost force that. We say, listen, go get to know as many
Go
people as
connect.
you can, or come talk to someone and I'll introduce you to 10 people who are going to love taking you out for a coffee. Do you know people that are not on your team? No? Okay, you're about to know 10 of them.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
So if we were in a different time in a different place, but you're still the same Claude that who you are, do you think that you would be as successful in your current role if it wasn't working for a Gary Vaynerchuk type of person?
I've always been me. So this was always who I was. This is always who I am. It's just been really like I would say, a player, a coach, a team captain, and a cheerleader. So like what you see with me, that's always who I am. I think I have such incredible luxury, which I'm so grateful for, that I work for and with Gary every single day. However, my last job 11 and a half years ago, I was the same me. And I unofficially mentored people. Unofficially. Hey, can I talk to you? Hey, can you look at this deck? That kind of stuff. So I really think, Adam, at the most basic level, if you have a heart to help, you have a heart to help. You're going to find ways to do that. You're going to find
It's
ways.
just who you are.
Yeah. I mean,
Heart people pay it forward. That's one of the core tentpoles of being a heart-focused person.
yeah. There's no reason in the world for me not to trust you. There's no reason. We already spent 3, 4, 5 months interviewing you. Like, now you're here. So great. Welcome. Now you're part of the culture. Great.
So how do you do this at scale? I mean, from the time I was at Vayner to now, it's gone from, I think, 400 to over 2,000, 11 countries and everything.
Yeah.
How do you do this? How do you do this at scale? How do we have more Claude-minded folks? Is it all about hiring and scaling with the right team?
Well, I think, and again, Vayner is a very special and specific place. A Vayner citizen might not be a BBDO citizen. They might not do well there, right? They might not do well at, working at,
Right.
Chick-fil-A. I mean, but we look for skill set fit and culture addition. We look for people who think similarly, but not identically. We want to be curious about people, right?
I'm putting my praying hands up, everybody, because I want to see this, because Claude is speaking my love language right here. I hate the word fit, Claude. I hate the word fit.
Yeah. Oh God, Adam.
Fit.
Means nothing.
Like bias is as a recruiter, I push back so hard on any client who gives me not a good culture fit as feedback, and I say why, constructively.
Yeah.
What didn't you like about them? And like, oh, I don't know if I'd want to have a beer with them or get stuck at an airport with them. I'm like,
Right.
but what are they adding to the team? Are they bringing diversity? And when we talk about diversity, it's not the color of our skin, our sexual orientation, what we believe in. It's diversity of mindset and thought. But if our common values are aligned, that's the fit.
Yeah, that's right. It's diversity of everything. You got some neurodiversity? Great, terrific. You're able-bodied? Great, terrific. You speak Spanish? Great, terrific. You're dyslexic? Great, terrific. I mean, culture fit is such, it's one of those phrases, just like soft skills, that I really want to just throw out the window. I don't even know what it means. I really don't. Like, do I want to spend 6 hours with anyone at the airport? No, I want to put my headphones on and not talk to anyone. Right.
Yeah.
But if I happen to sit next to someone and they ask me what I'm listening to, I might engage in a conversation. Like, we're so afraid to get close to people. We're so afraid to be intimate because people probably think it's intimate. Oh my God, you're going to find out everything. Stay away, stay away from me.
They're going to want to be my friend.
Yeah. They want to be my friend. They're going to want something from me.
They're going to friend me on Instagram.
Scarcity. It's like such a scarcity mindset to come from. When the world is abundant, it is abundant. And there is abundance in so many places that we don't even seek. There's so much love to go around in this world. There's so much opportunity, right? Yes, and there's so much tragedy and so much hardship, and we know that. But I'm going to stay on the other side of the track and say, there is almost nothing we cannot solve for in a workplace if you have that type of lens on.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And this is the focus we need right now. When everything else in the world is going to hell in a handbasket, where you work and who you spend time with at work is usually more hours in the week than you do with your own family. So how do you make it as best as possible? How do you make it a caring, loving, productive environment? Of course, there's going to be conflicts like any other family. There's going to be tension. There's going to be issues. But how you go about solving them is really going to lay the roadmap for the culture. How do you, all right, here's another curveball here. How does Claude Silver define culture within a company?
It's the vibe.
Yeah.
I define it.
That's what my daughter would say. It's my 13th. Yeah.
I define it as the energy that one feels when you walk the hallway, chatter, the conversations in the bathroom. Do people talk in the elevator? Is it a culture of sameness? No, we don't want that. We want apples and oranges and fruits and berries and all of that stuff. We don't want like apples, right? So culture for me is actually an energy of what happens when you are no longer in the room. What are they saying about you? What are they saying about this place? And you can feel the culture. You can feel a terrible culture, a fearful culture.
It's palatable.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. And you can feel a culture of joy, and you can feel a culture of motivation and momentum.
I'm going to give you one that you could borrow from me. Culture is feeling valued at work.
Okay.
Like I feel valued, that I'm contributing here, that I'm part of something.
Yeah.
That I'm not just here to raise the shareholder price or make the boss, an extra Hamptons house, right? Like that's not what we're doing. And my favorite one I like to drop is it's not cold brew on tap and pizza party Thursdays, right? Like that's not culture. But you talk a lot about humanity as a cultural infrastructure, and your leadership is, for everyone out there, Claude's leadership is deeply rooted in emotional optimism, emotional bravery, emotional efficiency. These are the 3 pillars in your book here. I love it if you could walk us through a scenario where these pillars shaped a high stakes moment at a hypothetical company that you worked at.
Okay, emotional optimism. Emotional optimism is the belief that things will get better. Emotional optimism is the belief that you have agency to change things for yourself, right? You're not waiting for someone to change you. You're going to change the experience or the way that you show up every single day. It is a belief in possibility and a yes and. Yes, it's raining and it's going to dry up tomorrow. And it's also like, I don't have to go at this alone. Optimism. Emotional bravery is then taking the action. It's taking action based on who you are. I know that it's going to be dry tomorrow. It's raining right now. cats and dogs, whatever, but I'm going to be brave and I'm going to ask that person who I see has 3 umbrellas if I can have an umbrella. And I'm being funny right now, but I'm going
Yeah.
to ask in the workplace. What you would do is go ask your boss for, listen, I really am gunning for that promotion. I just want to know, like, where are we? And then you have to be able, the person that asks, have to be able to accept what that person says. It's going to be subjective anyway, but you have to be like, okay, so you need me to step it up in this. All right, I'm going to step it up in this area. Bravery, taking action, which is so important. And the efficiency, emotional efficiency, is once you do that with a team or once you do that with yourself, things get faster. You're more able to let go of the drama. You don't need to go into every single meeting and be like, oh my God, that's right, her dog is really sick. We know your dog is sick. So instead of concentrating on your sick dog, let's get through that so that you can go home to your sick dog. Efficiency is such a game changer in the workplace. It's literally like, it's speed. But what happens is most of the time we all hang on to our emotions and I'm so sad and I didn't get this done. And then you're trudging through sludge all day.
You're carrying the weight of yourself and others there. A concept that I've been embracing a lot lately is emotional agility. And I think, let's just say you and I are close friends, you're going through something, and I don't have to I shouldn't go all the way down to your level and meet you where you're at, because in theory, I'm not able to help you. I need to stay a little bit above you so I could see the forest through the trees, but still be close enough to you. And I think that concept of personal relationships translates to work relationships. If you see somebody who's not a direct report and they're having issues, how could you help them in the best way possible? That is a huge part of culture too, and it stems from the heart. How do you approach that conversation with care and leadership and separate performance issues versus someone having, onboarding issues versus interpersonal issues, and bring it all together?
It's
all from the heart.
It's from the heart, and it's called empathy, and it's called care. And that's what it's called. And empathy in my book is not stepping into someone else's shoes, because I could never. I can only imagine what a person goes through, but I will never know, because my lived experience is so further from your lived experience. But empathy for me is absolutely being able to put my hand on someone's shoulder and say, I got you and you got this, and I'm going to be here. So I often say it's like being a passenger with someone in their car. I'm not driving the car, and I can't take on your drama. If I take on your drama, I'll never be able to help. But I'm going to ride with you. I'm going to give you a hug, and I'm going to tell you that it's going to get better.
Hey everybody, Adam here from the Podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by the team at Fountain. Fountain is your full-service frontline workforce management platform. I have to tell you, Fountain's offerings are some of the most robust I've seen for any product in the space. They offer full solutions for hiring, managing, and retention. They are truly a one-stop shop focused on the frontline workforce. They also create informative content using their data. For example, they analyze a bunch of data from their fast food chains and created a trend report you could download now on their website. They also have a new ebook out called Frontline Voices. There's a lot to dive into. Certainly check it out. And you can learn more at fountain.com, linked in the show notes. Thank you. And I could test that firsthand. Everyone at this point, when the show comes out, knows my health journey and everything I'm going through. And when I would have my friends sit with me during treatment too, they're not the ones with the port going through them. They're not the ones getting pumped through it there. But just the fact that they're there and they're able to add that emotional, they're the passenger. They literally are the passenger. They're riding shotgun. They're riding shotgun. They're controlling the volume of the radio. They're changing the music to make the vibes good, right? Like that's what they're doing there. So this is all nice and feel good. And we love talking about this, Claude. But there's an ROI to this, right?
There's an enormous ROI.
And you say kindness, quote, kindness isn't costly, it's catalytic. Like, how do you communicate the ROI of care, right, to these leaders who still may see these as dare I say, soft skills?
Yeah, I know. That we've already talked about that. Okay, this is what I want to say, and this is how I would communicate it. What is it like to have a culture where people enjoy being together? They go out after work, they enjoy jamming with each other, they enjoy sharing their presentations and whatnot. What is that like? Is that happy? Yeah, good. Okay, so does that equal retaining them? Oh my God, more retainment? Okay. Oh, are they going to be there for a while? Longevity, consistency? Oh my God, they're going to be consistent here. They're going to be here. Oh my God, that's fantastic. Wow, are happier people more likely to bring their friends to work? Oh my God, word of mouth. I might not have to pay as much as I can to a
Mm-hmm.
recruiter. No offense, Adam.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's true.
will we get curiosity and other ideas and innovation? Like when people are enjoying themselves at work through kindness, through care, through trust, through emotional intelligence, I guarantee you the uptick will be enormous. I guarantee you.
For everyone out there listening who's a business leader, the word that we're talking about is retention, employee retention. These are hard metrics that have dollar signs associated to them. So there is an ROI of doing things the right way from the heart. Every time somebody leaves an organization, someone else is doing 2 or 3 times the work. That person's getting burned out. That person wants to leave. They're not being as effective and efficient in the role that you hired them for. And it's diminishing returns and a downward spiral. So as Claude says right here, there is a direct ROI.
1,000%. You want, listen, especially if you have high performers, you don't want them to leave. You want high performers to continue to be high performers and then to mentor and teach the people that are coming up. Like
It's not rocket science.
yeah, it's not rocket science. That's the thing. But the other thing, Adam, is we learn how to be kind and compassionate when we are 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years old. We learn that. We go to school and all of a sudden we have to think with our brains and we have to become very, critical thinkers and strategic thinkers, and all of that magic and mysticism and goodness goes out the door. And then you have to relearn it.
You need to relearn how to play well with others.
Yeah.
In this world, it's so funny too. And we're both parents of young kids. They're relatively the same age. It's so fascinating to watch play dynamics.
Oh my God, I love it.
And I love watching it. And I've had to learn as a parent. I'm curious from your parenting journey too, of not being a helicopter parent, like trying to take a step back, let the kids figure shit out. They're going to fight. They're going to argue. Let them work it out because that's their own personal development skills.
Yeah.
How does that translate to the workplace?
Well, same exact thing. There are people, listen, this goes back to self-awareness. So, and what I talk about in the book is be yourself at work, have self-awareness, understand who you are. Can you bring your emotions to work? Absolutely. Do you know how to regulate your emotions though? Because I want your emotions, but I do not want them spilling across the lands. That's not going to help anyone.
No.
And that's where we get into that sludge and the drama. So what I ask is get to know yourself. And if you don't know how to do that, ask. And then let's figure out what is the right type of, emotion to bring into the workplace. Like,
Okay.
We have to move forward. We have to keep moving forward.
You have to, otherwise it gets stagnant. So let's talk tactics, right? Let's talk about tactical empathy and how do we scale it. So the book mentions tools like trust building tools and conversation catalysts and leadership labs. Pick one of them and let's break it down a little bit into practical, actionable. How does this work in the workplace? What's your favorite one out of all of them?
Oh, I have so many, but listen, one of the ones I really like that it's just very rare for people to do is called an appreciation circle, which literally on your team, you can do it on a Monday morning stand-up. Everyone goes around the room and says something that they appreciate about the other person. And if you can't find something, then we have a real problem, right? So it's nice to know where you stand. It's always nice to know that you are appreciated and that you matter. And one of the questions I will always ask someone is, how do you know your team wants you? How do you know that you bring your team value? And if they can tell me the evidence for that, I'm like, absolutely, I believe that to be. So the appreciation circle is a huge one for me. But the other one is the lie exercise. And that is about fighting your imposter syndrome. Because when that imposter speaks up, not only will it stifle you, it will stifle the team around you. It'll stifle the work that you're doing, and you will become a shell of yourself. And the idea here is not to shrink in the workplace. It is to take up space. Right? And so, the lie exercise is something that I'm very passionate about. I've seen it work for myself as well. So a lie, I'm dumb. I've told myself that until I was 35 years old. I'm dumb. I had so much evidence for why I was dumb. Terrible in school.
I'm laughing in agreement.
Yeah. Terrible. Couldn't retain information, highly dyslexic. I just was like, big old L. That's what I thought. So the evidence today, is there any evidence out there that I am dumb today? Well, let me just think about it. I wrote a book. No, I don't think I'm dumb.
Successful in your career.
Yeah, I worked for Gary for 11 years. Okay, no, I'm not dumb there.
Mentor a lot of good leaders. Yeah, check the
they
box
come to
there.
ask me a lot of, coaching questions and stuff. No, I'm not dumb. Okay, so I'm not dumb. And I know I'm not dumb. So then what is the truth? The truth for me, when I did this at 36 years old, was I learn differently. I'm a different kind of learner. I'm not dumb. I learn the world differently. I am a feeler. My emotional intelligence is not a weakness here. It is my strongest muscle in my body.
Amen to that.
Right? And so you have to find something you got to take this lie out, and you have to put the other thing in that's going to make you feel good. That's the truth. And so when I say to you, I know that authenticity is a superpower, I'm saying that because I've done it. I'm saying it because I've done it. I have evidence that it works. And this is coming from a person who thought she was a big L for a long time.
People used to say that your heart was your enemy. And you flip that shit on them.
Yeah. When are you going to think with your head? Why do you think so much with your heart? Oh, it's like, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. What do you mean? I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way to be.
Yeah, the other I could talk to you for hours, but we don't have that. And I want to hit on this one too. Your book advocates embracing authenticity over perfection, right? And listen, I want my brain surgeon to be perfect, but not everyone's a brain surgeon out there, right? There's certain, I want my brain surgeon to be perfect, right? I want my oncologist to be perfect, all these things here. And you preach a lot about authenticity over perfection too, which I love. And I think it relates to another one that you talk about in the book is how to run on calm.
Yes.
And I think that these kind of things kind of all work together too. And that's something I'm personally working on too, because it starts at home and you could use your kids who trigger you every moment of every single day to practice the calm. How do you take that and you put it into the workplace? And I think it starts with being able to take a beat, really being able to take that beat and kind of focus on it. So what are some of these frameworks and tools to help run on calm?
Yeah. The first thing is to get present. Get present. What's happening? Is the world collapsing in the workplace? Did you just get fired? Like, what is happening? Get present. This is what I'm dealing with today. This is what's in front of me. I need to find a solution with this team on A, B, and C, and then we need to present it to the client. That's getting present. That's the first thing you must do. Present over perfection. And I'm not talking about brain surgery.
Yes.
That's the first thing that one absolutely must do. Getting present also means like being here now, leaving the judgment at home. Right? Leaving the judgment at home and absolutely like understanding that you are not going to be the smartest person in the room.
And if you are in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're going to add to the wealth of this community. No one is the strongest person in the room. The room is the strongest person, right? The room, the sum of the parts. So that gets you off the hook a little bit in terms of you don't have to morph yourself into something that you're not, because you're just not. No one is the smartest person. So that's the other thing that you want to do for sure. And then like, what are the things that trigger you to be uncalm? You
have to know your triggers.
Yeah, I know when I am with other leaders that are not accountable, it drives me nuts. Probably because I wasn't accountable for a long time. Spot it, you got it. I need people to be absolutely like truthful with who they are and what they can offer. Like that's another part of the framework. So, there's different steps in running on calm in particular to like really help you get grounded so that you can deal with what's in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
you need to have these frameworks.
Yeah. By the way, we hired you to deal with what's in front of you. We didn't hire you to deal with the drama over here or over here.
Okay, let's dig into that one. I'm a recruiter. We're in the people business. How do you assess that skill set? I'm not saying hard or soft. How do you assess that skill set in the interview process? What is the line of questions and conversations to assess if that person has that ability for this organization?
great. By the way, I call them human skills, necessary life skills, not soft skills, so that you can use that. That's one you can use. You ask,
Life skills.
yeah, life skills. You ask probing questions. So, when was the last time you were in a really heated situation at work? Tell me about that. And what happened? How did you act? Like, who were you? And by the way, if they're honest and say I freaked out, then you want to know they're honest and freaked out. When was the last time you lost your temper? When
Yeah.
was you ask these questions that are rooted in emotion. You're looking for the pattern. You're looking for if they say like, listen, if you're recruiting someone and they answer every question with
Of course, we.
bye-bye. How about we? How about
Us.
we?
Yeah.
And so let's say you're a recruiter, right? And then you ask this question and you're like, yeah, I mean, I really freaked out. I thought the client was going to fire us. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's real. So then what did you do? Did you freak everyone else out, or did you go talk to your manager? What did you do? And that's what is going to tell me if you know how to run on calm.
How to run on calm. It always also relates back to what I think is the strongest trait. A little bit off topic here, but it's curiosity too, because I think curiosity leads to calmness too. Curiosity, and leaders want to know how you figured it out. Theo, how did you figure it out, Theo? And that's another one, but it all relates to the mindset of how you approach situations and how do you go about that. Talk to us a little bit. We have a few minutes, and I want to touch on this one because it's interesting because I had never heard of this one. What are the 7 rules of team citizenship?
Yeah.
Because
So
people need to be better team players. People know how to play
yeah,
well
yeah,
together.
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to read out of the book because I want
No, give me
to read it, but like,
your top 2.
yeah, I mean, the top 2 are like understanding that everyone has their own shiz going on every day, right? You wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and the dog went here, and you got sick, and you went to work out, and the kids are yelling, and you got in a fight with your spouse, and then you turn on your laptop, and you're supposed to be like, "Hey, I'm here, I'm ready." So understanding that you too start your day in a very different way than than people perceive you to start your day. That's the first thing. So understand we're all going through something, which is, and then I think this goes back to self-awareness, Adam. What are your trigger points? What is going to get you all riled up? Understanding if someone, does something that has unconscious bias around it, it's really going to trigger me. And I'm going to need to like take a moment, take a breath. Like I'm making all of this up, but it's very, very true. You also want to be committed to the job at hand. So that's called being present. What do we need to solve for right now? You also want to know, how do you handle conflict? Because there's going to be conflict. What are you going to do when that person disagrees with you or speaks over you or interrupts you? Are you gonna erupt? I hope not.
How do
But
you handle those
maybe
situations?
afterwards, you might say to that person, "Hey, I noticed you interrupted me 3 times, and it really I forgot what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. Like, can we talk about that?" Yeah, like we get so afraid. Listen, titles and hierarchy mess everything up. They mess everything up because you feel like you cannot push back or talk to your superior, whatever that means, because they can get you fired. No. It takes a lot to get someone fired.
You have to create a culture of that, right? You have to create a culture where that's accepted and open, and that truly, listen, leadership, it's messy, right?
Yeah.
It's human.
We are
right?
messy. We are messy.
Right. And we're obsessed in this world of efficiency and polish and, optics and everything. What's recently and
Politics.
yeah, and I'm not even going to get into how to approach politics in the
No,
workplace.
I'm not even talking about politics.
Workplace politics.
Yeah.
It's messy. It's not a family per se, but it acts like a lot of family dynamics, except you can't fire your family.
Yeah.
But I love this opportunity for you to shower somebody with some flowers here. What is a recent, just one of the boldest be yourself moves at work that just paid off? You saw somebody like, that's how you do it, folks.
Oh my God. Kaylin McNamara.
Kaylin McNamara,
who's our chief business officer, who's been at the company 13, 14 years. She used to report to me when I worked on the Unilever team. Kaylin is unapologetically herself because she has conviction and she trusts what she's going to say. Why? Because she's been a practitioner of it. Not because she read about it up here and then she's going to quote you back whatever came out of that textbook, because she has actually been in the dirt. She has forged client relationships when clients didn't want to do anything with us, right? She has made sure that the clients know, like we're working together. She has made it seem, I mean, there's so many stories about Kaylin. Like she has basically said, how you show up needs to have clarity, conviction, and calm. And she is that person. She is that person.
Shining example.
A shining example. And you have to understand what your impact is with people. You know?
So what's that number one ingredient you would pull from her formula and drip on some others?
Calm, without a doubt. And I would also say Kaylin knows how to take up space in a room. And
what does that mean?
Take up space is not be a wallflower and not sit in the back of the room and not cross your arms. And because of that, other people learn from her. So she has not only learned how to take up space in a room. What I was going to say is she knows how to pass the ball.
Great leaders keep their mouth shut and let others shine. They build and create the canvas for others to shine.
That's it.
Man. And that's what it comes down to. So let's bring it home here, Claude. Who's this book for?
This book is for everyone. This book is literally a business psychology book. It's for students. It's for people that are entering into the workforce for their first time. It's for the person that's turning into a manager, the manager turning into a leader, the C-suite who needs reminders and just wants to like share this with the rest of the org. It's for entrepreneurs. It's for professors and academics. It's for anyone that gives a you know what about themselves and about who they work with.
Are we generally speaking, are we moving in the right direction in the workplace in the United States here? Are we optimistic? Are we positive? Are we going in the right direction, Claude?
I mean, listen, I am an optimist. And so I'm going to say little by little, little by little, little by little, we are getting there. And how do I know that? Because there's more and more and more and more and more people that I listen to. I hear, they ask me questions. They're on this path with me. I don't feel alone. I definitely don't feel alone. I feel like we have a village, and this village wants to bring humanity into the workplace.
I absolutely love it. What's keeping you up at night these days?
My kids, for one, when they wake up and they like want to crawl into bed, that definitely keeps me up. But really, the other thing that keeps me up is something I'm about to solve. I don't know how someone in Singapore feels today. I don't know if they feel the same culture. I don't know if someone in Toronto feels the same culture. I rely on what I call culture champions to tell me, to give me that pulse, but I don't know. So I'm actually going over to Singapore for my first time ever next week, and I will be able to get a sense of what goes on in the water there.
That's exciting.
Yeah, really
You need
exciting.
to experience it, especially in multicultural, multi-global offices. As companies scale like a Vayner, you have to be there. You have to go there.
Yeah,
you have to experience different cultural. It's a different culture, different workplace norms, different cultures, and there's going to be things that are completely unique to folks in Southeast Asia versus someone in Toronto.
That's right.
You as the leader there, you have to understand and try things and listen and just be there for them. I'm excited for you.
Like find commonalities, because not everyone is going to express empathy in the same way. So I have to figure out how do they do it? Okay, that works. I saw that person really light up when they said that thing to that person. Like I have to look for patterns. I have to listen. When I go there, this is the thing. Leaders are not heroes. We are not. We are turning other people into heroes.
I love it. Claude, what's the single greatest piece of career advice that you've ever received that you pay forward daily?
This is going to sound corny, but when you see something, say something. So when you see smoke over there, take care of it, address it before it becomes a blazing fire, and then you're reacting to it and you're too late.
Only you could prevent forest fires, Claude. Absolutely. And last but not least, you've been on the show a few times. OG homie that I absolutely love, respect. You are a Mount Rushmore mentor for me, and I deeply appreciate and respect everything you've done for me throughout my entire career. We've known each other almost a decade at this point. You've been by my side. And I don't even work at Vayner, and Claude's there for me all the time. Just goes to show you how awesome she is. Claude, at this stage of your life and your career, how do you define success?
Generosity. I define success out of generosity of my own heart, spirit of generosity, and how many lights can I help turn on today? Can I help turn on? I cannot turn the lights on. How many lights can I help turn on?
I love it. Claude Silver, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your generosity, your time, and your wisdom. Claude's first book, Be Yourself at Work, comes out October 28th. And I would love for all of you to check it out. You could pre-order. Depending when the show comes out, you could probably buy it right now. We're going to link you up in the comments below. You could also go to beyourselfbook.com. How did you get that URL? How is that URL not taken already?
You know what's so funny?
I'm shocked.
Be Yourself at Work is. Be Yourself book wasn't. And it was just kind of logical.
And you're like, I'll take it.
It was like, Be Yourself book. I was shocked and so happy.
So happy that you were here to join me today. Hang out for 1 second. And everyone listening, if this show meant something to you, leave a review, rating. It goes a long way. Sharing means caring. You know where to find out more at thepodcast.com. Catch us on Instagram at NHP Talent, YouTube /thepodcast. Remember, be good to yourself, be better to others, and catch us next week for another great episode of the podcast. Take care, everybody.
Wisdom is forever, but for us, it's time to go. Thank you for joining us. Luckily, we'll be back with our next episode soon, jam-packed with more incredible humans. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and sharing. To join the conversation, search The Podcast on LinkedIn. And to catch up on past episodes and more info, please visit www.thepodcast.com.